Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Listen. The numbers are reportedly in for Beterbiev Bivol 2. The card that you guys told me was the fight card of the century. The greatest fight to ever hit boxing. All these things you told me. And now we shall hear from les numbers. And full disclosure, it ain't good. It's really not good, bro. From the top. So this one comes in from Brunch Boxing on Twitter. Make sure you follow them. Report. The last crescendo, aka Beterbiev versus Bivol 2. U.S. pay-per-view buys. Says the Riyadh season event headlined by the undisputed light heavyweight rematch between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol has reportedly done an estimated 45,000 pay-per-view buys in the United States. 45K? The event generated 1.17 million in pay-per-view revenue. The event, Turkey Al-Sheikh led event, self-christened the greatest boxing card of all time, was available for purchase at $25.99, $26 basically, live on dazn pay-per-view. And they had a couple switch outs on the fight. Wow. But wait, there's more. Another boxing reporter put this out. So totally separate. These aren't people like with the same company, if you will. Carlos Linares, he said, according to his sources and unofficial information, the pay-per-view sales figure in the United States for the Beterbiev Bivol fight did not exceed $65,000 or $65K, $65K in sales. And there are even boxers who were promoted that day, like on the card, that have not received their check yet. Oh my gosh. Why did the jokes write themselves? My thoughts haven't really changed much. Okay, 45,000, an abomination, is very abysmal. But the reason why this sounds valid is a few reasons to me. Even though these are sourced out information, one, the names on the card aren't these big colossal names. Like, you didn't have a Gervonta Davis, a Canelo, a Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, De La Hoya, you know, these names throughout boxing that have resonated. Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran. You didn't have names like that on the card. So that's one major thing. Like, boxing hardcores, I keep telling you, I am the best in the business and it's not even close. How come everything I say over time seems to add up and check out? Boxing is a small niche community. There are probably 250, 350,000 dedicated, hardcore, watch every single type of fight that's televised fans. Then, you know, like if the pool is, let's say 250 to 350K, right? Not every single one is going to buy a pay-per-view or have money or whatever. The different, somebody, oh, I got to pay my rent. You know what I mean? So you're going to have that. So these numbers aren't really surprising. Furthermore, on top of, like, Beterbiev is a great fighter. Bivol is a great fighter, but you have two Russians. You, first of all, like, politically, you got Russia and Ukraine situation going on, right? So that might make it somewhat hard, right? Then more importantly, you got two Russian guys that can fight, but they are extremely stoic. They're not going to give you like an amazing press conference. All they do is show up and fight. They're not going to like, Bivol is super stoic. Like he doesn't even say anything. Like if you interview him, oh yeah, control my emotion. No. I believe he won. You know, he's not saying anything. It's not like, oh man, that was a huge like let's say Conor McGregor. When Conor McGregor was in his prime in the UFC, for me, given the fact that he's an Irishman from Dublin, Ireland or whatever, the thing that made him resonate in America was he almost assimilated. Like he's speaking like an American just with an Irish accent. He's quoting Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. He's quoting like 50 Cent lyrics or whatever. And he's walking out to Notorious Biggie. Like this is all American pop culture, right? And he's saying funny things. I don't know what you think. Who the f is that? Like he's entertaining, right? Bivol and Beterbiev are just good fighters. They don't really entertain outside the ring, and that's cool. But then you have Shakur, who like, you know, I don't know what his public perception is, but he's definitely not no tank. And then Bacoli and Joseph Parker, it's kind of more of the same. So why would you guys expect this to be the greatest card and, you know, a commercial success? You didn't have no star power. Beyond that, look at the time it comes on. The card started at like 8:30 a.m. my time. I live in California, right? Shakur is fighting 10, 11 a.m. in the morning. This is like breakfast time. Back in the day when Oscar was fighting and Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather and Roy Jones, it was USA prime time, meaning later in the evening on a Saturday, period, right? Americans have jobs. They're not like me. I'm able to do this only because my job is a YouTuber and content creator online. So I get to sit around, wake up when I want, do whatever I want. You know, I'm not in prison and I don't have a job, which to me, a lot of regular traditional work is prison for me, right? Because I'd rather call my own shots and control my own destiny. Me personally, I'm not mad if you have a job that's more traditional. But even if you're a banker has the best hours, right? 9 to 5, 8 to 4. They got banker hours. They would still miss large portions of this, except for maybe what they could watch on their lunch. So clearly, dazn and Turkey, they haven't figured this stuff out. Either they don't care about the American market or they don't know how to navigate in it or whatever. But putting fights on when people have work, then you're not going to get great numbers. So these numbers sound accurate because, again, how many fans, like even if this was your favorite card ever, who can afford to watch this at this particular time? Most Americans need to take care of themselves and have jobs. You know what I'm saying? So even if you wanted to see the fight, there's probably, or you were willing to pay, you're not going to pay for even $25 if you can't watch the card. And then the next day, Turkey uploads it on his YouTube account in full. Why would you pay for it? So you're going to pay, not be able to watch it in real time, and between dazn highlights on their YouTube for free and Turkey uploading the full 9-hour event on his personal YouTube, you know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. If you're not able to watch it per your job or prior obligations, then you will probably just catch it later and just find out the outcomes. So let's recap. You have no star power, like names that transcend bigger in boxing. You could put all the fighters on the card, Caleb Smith, Buatsi, Bacoli, Jalé Zhang, all these dudes, Beterbiev, Bivol, in a police lineup and say which one is Bivol. People, the common, at least American, they're not going to know who these people are. So no star power, inconvenient time. As an added bonus, dazn is not a big platform in America, right? It's not like the Netflixes and Spotify's where 1 out of every 3-4 Americans have Netflix or Spotify or Hulu or some of these platforms, Disney Plus, whatever. So there's that. Finally, I also want to say that I was right. You guys told me, the detractors, the usual suspects, the shapeshifters, that Turkey was ingenious by lowering the price of pay-per-view to $25.99. You were going to see this crazy influx of people who are now buying, and it's going to do double and triple what Tank Davis and Benavidez are doing, and other guys like on PBC who are fighting for $80 pay-per-views. And I told you guys that is not how this works at all. It doesn't work like that. Yes, I get it. $80 is more expensive than $26. Duly noted. But people pay for what in America? I'm only speaking for America. I don't care about any other region. My number one target audience is American. I'm American, so that's what I'm speaking on. I'm not speaking on, Irish fans or UK or fans in Saudi Arabia, what they want to do. Only from the viewpoint of an American. I want that to be clear. Americans will pay for what they want, period. Like, I know some people, I don't drink, but I know some people that like a beer after work or whatever. They will go to specific bars if the bar has the beer that they like on tap, like Stella, the Fat Tire, whatever, right? IPA. They'll go to the bar that has what they want. They don't care if it's another bar has a cheaper beer. They're going to the specific bar that has on tap the beer that they prefer. You see how this works? That's America, people. Right? So people are going to pay for. I like Benavidez. I pay for his pay-per-view. I like watching him fight. I like watching Tank fight. I pay for his pay-per-view as well. Same thing with other fans. So Turkey can hate and talk about hair grease and Tank wasn't a knockdown and all that. You still haven't found a way to make a Tank fighter with the guys on your cards that you're working with, like Crawford Madrimov. The fight lost over $10 million. Now the said best card ever in history or whatever people were saying, flopped too. And then to boot, with this one, you had all these people on the show. Their rumors or reports will say that are suggesting that fighters haven't been paid whatever they are owed, which is another black eye. I mean, you never want to see that. Fighters win, lose, or draw. They are risking their lives. They deserve to be paid. This is a terrible look all around because you guys told me Turkey had unlimited cash flow. Why are there unresolved invoices that haven't been paid in salaries and purses from fighters who competed? You still got, it don't matter if you draw, you have a win, loss, you still got to get paid. You still showed up and tried to fight, you know what I mean? So why are there reports that this is even occurring? But back to some of the other points I was making. You guys told me simply lowering the price would, 26, yeah, I'm gonna buy it. The broke boxing fans are saying that, right? Because you don't got your money together. So $80 is like, oh, bro. There, if you like, I live right next to Napa, right? Napa, California, Sonoma, St. Helena. So wine county, wine country, whatever you want to call it, right? Wine is expensive. To go to the vineyards and the wineries and stuff like that, these wine tours, for the people who do that, I don't drink, so I'm not worried about it. But for the people that do, they know and expect to pay. It's just what it is. They're very nice. The vineyards are very nice. The wineries are very nice. You go on a tour, you're going to have to pay. Especially the higher the grade, the higher the class, the more established, they've been around. This is a 100-year-old wine. You're going to have to pay for it. So whether it's golfing, I don't golf. I don't really know much about golf. However, I do know golf gear is expensive because I've seen it. You go to Dick's Sporting Goods or wherever, you can see it. Get all the golf gloves and the clubs and the tees and the golf balls and everything that you need. It's an expensive sport. So boxing is no different. You pay into what you like. If you love boxing and it's a great fight and you like this fighter, you support it, period. Simply lowering the price is not going to do anything if you don't resonate with that card. Like, there's movies I want to see. I don't really care about the price within reason. Like, I'm not going to pay $1,000 to go to the movie theater, but I don't really care if it's $15 or $30. If I want to see the movie, I want to see it. Now, if it's a movie that I'd rather wait and watch on stream, then I'm not going to pay the $30. But if I want to see it and I want the theater experience, like if it's a Christopher Nolan movie or something, I'm there. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you guys have been brainwashed that lower automatically means triple the buys. Then why did this fight do 45,000 pay-per-view buys with a card this loaded and best card of the year? All this bull, you never heard me say that. This is what people in the media and the fans, you did all this stuff to hype it up and then it couldn't even sell. Oh, this has all the great fights. This is much better than David Benavidez, Morrell, all this stuff. And it couldn't even crack half of 100K. It's just so funny. And you told me lowering the price would exponentially 4x the amount of traffic and fights. It's not how it works. Because look at it like this: $25.99 versus free $99. If you're being cheap and you don't want to pay, or the card you have doubts about it, free $99 is still cheaper than $25.99. You see how that works? So the people who are going to stream illegally probably just did it anyway. So you could have the fight card for $5.99. They'll be like, that's a Starbucks drink. I'm not buying that. I don't have money for that. And if they know an outlet to watch it another way, then that's what they were going to do anyway. So, yeah, I try to tell y'all, y'all didn't believe me. Checkmate.